This is COVID-19, the virus that lives on, hosted by Pauline Dulang.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our series COVID-19, The Virus Lives On, where we have regular discussions on what's going on with COVID-19 and the vaccines and all that fun jazz. Well, it's not fun, it's just jazz, I guess. I'm here with
Amber Rodriguez.
and she's had her own personal experiences with COVID. And so we're just kind of here to just talk about it and learn a little bit more about you. So you've had what we would say a difficult time with that illness, I would say. And how old were you?
So I was 18, and this was in fall of 2020. I got it in beginning of November of 2020. I remember it was right after Halloween. I'm 19 now, and I was only 18 years old when I got it.
All right. Were you vaccinated before you got COVID?
So at that time, vaccinations weren't public yet. They didn't go public till about a few months after that, but there was no vaccine available at that time.
So you got it fresh.
I got it fresh. Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, that must have been scary when you took a test and you found out you were positive.
Yeah, so I took so many precautions because this was like my first semester at college, and I was already scared and feeling like just a little bit paranoid about what was going on, but I also just wanted to be safe for myself. So I took so many precautions. But my friend got it at a Halloween party, and then I ended up getting it because I also hung out with him too, took a test, and that's what happened. I isolated for 10 days, but those 10 days, I do not remember ever feeling sick like that ever before.
Yeah, so please describe your experience and how you eventually got better.
So I had just about every symptom imaginable that was available, down the checklist of every symptom. It was, I could not remember ever feeling that sick. And I remember I was isolated for 10 days. I remember laying in that bed. I was like, I am at the peak of my health, or I should be at least in a few years. And this is probably the healthiest point I'll be in my life. But it was bad. I couldn't help but imagine what it was like for other people that were older or have other underlying medical conditions and how that could have affected them. Because again, at this time, the vaccine was not available. So it felt pretty lonely, being isolated for 10 days and trying to take care of yourself. Whatever the CDC recommended, checking my temperature often, drinking lots of fluids, all the things you would do to make yourself feel better. I did have some symptoms that still carried on after. I remember 2 months after, I was still upset because I lost my taste. I couldn't have coffee for about 2 months. I couldn't taste it right. It just tasted like hot water. My sense of smell is still a little weird, and about a year and a half later, but I had every symptom imaginable, and the body aches were probably the worst. And at the same time, I was still trying to do my classes in bed and do my virtual Zooms.
I'd be like, computer off.
It was really hard to keep up with that and my mental health and school at the same time. It was really hard being a university student at the same time.
Yeah, so you are a testament that even young people can get COVID.
Even young people can get COVID. And again, throughout the entire time, I was thinking, I'm at the peak of my health. I should be good. I should be okay. But no, COVID is serious.
How has that whole experience, especially with isolation that you were talking about and still having to go through university classes, how has that experience impacted you today?
It's definitely made me feel more empathetic to other people who have gotten COVID and other people who have it worse than me. I got lucky and I recovered pretty well. I do have a few things, like I said, that still carry on, but I really feel for other people that have had it before. And I think it's even more important because the booster is available now for younger children. I think it's even more important that even young people get the vaccine as well, because they could have it bad too. You could be perfectly healthy and COVID can still happen to you.
How was your family during that time when you had COVID?
So I was at Lincoln. I was at the university at Lincoln, and my family like lives in Papillion and all that. I called my mom. She was so worried about me and everything, especially like being isolated for 10 days. You know, as a mom, she wanted to like go in and help me, but she couldn't because I didn't want her to get COVID. I didn't want anyone else in my family to. So she's very much a mom, and I love her for that. But she had to like trust the process and me making myself feel better. And then I also wanted to make sure that she was healthy too, along with my other family. So I had to distance myself for that time.
That it's hard when you are the option to see your families taken away from you rather than you choosing just to give yourself space from them. Having that option taken away is probably the worst part, and that's really scary.
It is.
Yeah. And then lastly, what are things that you did that you are glad that you did? And then what's something that you wish you knew then that you know now?
Honestly, I'm glad I tried my best with the precautions I took beforehand, but you know, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
You know, and I know to still take precautions, actually. Still take precautions now. And, you know, I've been vaccinated and got my booster as well and everything. And I hope to keep it that way. And I hope to keep staying healthy. And that's what I encourage other people to do as well. Just be respectful and stay healthy and continue following CDC guidelines. And not just for yourself, but for your families. If you have kids, for your kids as well. It's for everyone around you.
Yeah, this was a really great discussion. Thank you so much, Amber, for sharing your story. This has been another one on our series, COVID-19, The Virus Lives On. Be sure to check out more of our content so that way you stay updated and just listen to our discussions. Thanks so much for joining us.
This has been COVID-19, The Virus That Lives On, hosted by Pauline Dulang. If you'd like to leave suggestions, email us at ewcfacts@gmail.com. That's ewcfacts@gmail.com. This has been an EWC Communication production.